This is Dave Fleming at the Ingenuity Lab. Welcome to another episode of Lifework, a podcast that explores ideas and insights at the intersection of who you are and what you do, your life work. Well, as we start out today, I want to share with you my 3 almost universal truths. Of course, if I call them universal truths, someone will point out to me that they don't always happen. So I call them the almost universal truths that shape so much of life and work and cause so many frustrations and issues for us, mostly because of our own doing. So here are the universal truths. Universal almost truth number 1. Things take longer than I want them to. Yeah, have you ever experienced that? Or maybe the better question is, when already today have you experienced that? Things take longer than I want them to. Universal almost truth number 2. Things are more complex than I expect them to be. Things are more complex than I expect them to be. There are moving parts and things I didn't see and pressures and forces pushing in ways that I could not have anticipated. And universal truth almost always number 3. Getting stuff done with other people requires far more relational communication and interaction than I often give. It just takes more time with people to walk through the issues of work and life. So there they are. Things take longer than I think they're going to. Things are more complex than I want them to be or expect them to be. And it takes more time in relational communication and interaction to get things done together than I thought. Now, so many things go wrong in life when we don't respect and honor those 3 universal, almost always truths. But there is a secret ingredient that if you can insert this element, this secret element into your life and into your work more often, you will honor the 3 almost universal truths and find that the dark side of those truths are coming your way less often. You're not experiencing so much last-minute change. You're not experiencing so many what I call oh crap moments where you think you have got it all figured out and then you realize you didn't figure it out and you didn't remember something critical. Or less times will invade your moments where people are frustrated at you because you left them out of the loop. You didn't think about them. Whatever it may be, if you can apply this secret element, this 5-letter word, M-A-R-G-I-N, or maybe it's 6 letters, M-A-R-G-I-N. Oh yeah, 6 letters. You will find yourself working with the almost always 3 universal truths rather than against them. And yes, friends, the universal truth is breathe more margin into your life. Now, you might be laughing already. You might be saying, you've got to be kidding me. But nope, I'm not. It may take you a while to establish more margin because of where you've gotten yourself in your life work. But it is possible. I've helped scores and scores of people over almost 3 decades find more margin in life. I have arranged my life in such a way that I can accomplish a lot, but at the same time have margin in order to do important thinking and planning and designing and bonding and communicating and interacting and considering and observing and noticing. And margin is such an incredible gift. And I don't have to give you any better example than when you're driving. Especially the faster you drive, the more you need margin on the road. the more you have to do, the more you need margin. And this is where we really trip up, because we flip it. The more we have to do, the less time we have margin, the less time we take, the less time we breathe space into our lives and our schedules to really think and plan and marinate on things. But so much of time wasted can be traced back to a lack of margin. So because of this, we're going to take the next two podcasts, the next two Lifework podcasts, the next one and the one after that, and we're going to dive into 5 strategies that will help you create margin. I'm going to share them with you quickly here, and then we'll really get into them in the next two podcasts. So here we go. Number 1, if you want more margin, stop scheduling your world back to back. Stop scheduling your world back to back. Number 2, take 3 hours a week to sit and reflect, plan, and design your world. Number 3, when considering how long work will take, add 25% to the number you come up with. Number 4, plan that conversations, particularly important ones, will take longer than you think they will. And when you're in them, slow down. And number 5, arrive before you arrive. And that, my friends, will be an entire Lifework podcast all by itself, because it's such an important concept. Stop scheduling your world back to back. Take 3 hours a week to sit and reflect and plan. When considering how long things will take you, add 25% more time. Plan that conversations will take longer than you think they will, especially when they're important ones, and slow them down. Be present, and then arrive before you arrive. In the next podcast, we're going to look at the first 4, and in the podcast after that, we'll look at what it means to arrive before you arrive. Margin is such a critical part of life, and it will save you from the snares of the 3 almost always universal truths, because things take longer than we think they're going to. They're more complex than we expect them to be, and people deserve our time and attention when we're working together. Let's learn together how to breathe more margin into our life and experience more joy and delight in our life work. This is Dave Fleming in the Ingenuity Lab. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Lifework.